All right, the grand reveal finished just in time for Christmas 2021. This is my custom built Lionel pre-war articulated 2442 motor. I put a video up with the frame. The motors and steam chest are from a Lionel 259. We took two of those and built a custom brass frame. And then the pilot is also a Lionel 259. The front truck is a custom built truck off of a Lionel 263. The rear truck is a custom built truck off of a Lionel 263. The shell is two different 263 shells fused together. So right in the center is a weld seam. So on this, we cut just behind the nameplate on the back shell, and we cut just in front of this raised section on the front shell. The pipes are all custom bent brass. The smokestack, steam dome, sand domes are all original. The shells are Lionel 263s. One I had that was missing a cab. The other I had that was not complete. We were missing the whole latch assembly and everything. The cab in the back is wearing a Lionel 261 number plate because I had a 261 cab laying around and the name or the plate looked old and vintage. It's new brass windows, new grab rails. Around the front, we've got the Lionel Corp badge on the front. The front of the boiler was a bit of a mystery. I kept staring at it for a while and trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And then it dawned on me, I had a bunch of 752 vestibule parts laying around. And when you lay them across each other, you get this curve. And that curve is almost the exact same size as the diameter of a 763 shell. So we put those two together, welded them, welded it onto here, and then did some body working. The front is part of a broken Lionel 263, the front is part of a broken Lionel 226. The hinges were sheared off. So we just ground the hinges down, made it a cylinder, and then epoxied it to the front of the welded 752 vestibule. And then I took epoxy and made rivets around the front to kind of give it that look. Those rivets also, when we did a bunch of the body work back here, the rivets disappeared in the middle section, and the rivets got reapplied with epoxy. So we have this nice, long 263 variation. If you look, this is an original 263, painted a very nice green, but you can see where we cut that back cab right here behind the number plate, and then cut right here in front of our bump, and those two shells became one. A 263 was originally a cast frame, and I am not quite at the casting level yet. You can see the original boiler front and assembly versus our new boiler front and assembly. I ended up keeping the frame brass, and I just buffed it till it was shiny and then sprayed it with clear. The tender is a hodgepodge of parts. This is a original Lionel 260 top section. I picked it up for about $20. It was missing the frame, the wheels, and everything else. This was bare, no handrails, no ladder on the back. It had the inserts in the top, but missing a bunch of pieces. The frame actually is an 813 tank car frame that was smashed at a flea market, so we salvaged the frame. I found a set of original 6-wheel Lionel trucks, and then we kept the brake wheel on the back because, well, it just kind of completed the look. So when you step back and look at everything, we have this very long, articulated 263 shell powered by 259 motors. In the back, I've had these 605 coaches for over a year in various states of unrestored. We were missing 3 doors. We were missing the trucks, the wheels, the brass steps, the couplers, and the paint. I think somebody had them down in a wet basement. The paint, every time you picked up the car, the paint would just come off in your hands. So since we were replacing everything, decided just to give them a complete overhaul and repaint. The trucks came from Trains down in Georgia. The roller collectors came from 2 suppliers. The steps came from Hennings in Pennsylvania. The windows are my restaurant carry-out containers because they resist microwave and heat. The blue is actually stained glass paint. Once they were in the frames and everything was attached, I just took blue stained glass paint and went behind them. The rubber stamps came from JLM Trains in New Jersey. They're the correct rubber stamps. And then I had a set of New York Central Line rubber stamps from a previous project. So when everything's together, there's a roller collector on both trucks. So when the light singular is on in the 605, it doesn't flicker when it goes around the track. So we have 3 complete 605s and 1 606 observation car at the back. The missing doors I actually formed out of brass. There's a strap that goes into this section, strap that comes here and tucks in and holds the door so it can swing. It got new straps on it. It's got new window cut. The only thing I couldn't do is there's a raised section in the center of the doors, and that requires a press, and I don't have one of those yet. So we're going to step back for a second and get this whole look. It's a very long train, and what I found with the 605, 606 cars, they're heavy. I tried pulling them with a 251. I can pull 2 cars. If I get a little nudge, I can get 3 cars, but pulling all 4 of them, even with the wheels oiled and everything smooth, was a little bit tricky to do. So let's hit our power. My locomotive's got an E unit in it. You hear it hum. But the cars light up very, very, very pretty. 1 light bulb in it, just like all the Lionel passengers. Early couplers. When you work your way back to the back, a 606 observation, complete with your brass end rail. But I figured with the red inserts, I kept them like they were when they were originally dark gray. The dark gray roofs are pretty close to the Lionel. I went with the light gray because I like the New York Central colors, and I had the stamp. And you can pull it with lots of different locomotives and it still looks good. Reverse it up. So again, our completed, articulated Lionel 259 263 custom scratch built locomotive. Took about 3 months. Nice satin black, red trim, gold and chrome. It's a very cool locomotive. Thanks for watching.